talking about some of the things that were in the headlines last night. I thought it'd be a smart idea to kind of go through and, talk about some of the things that were said and, not fact check or anything like that, but just kind of go over some of the main talking points. This one has been all over the media today, so I thought I would start here. Now, Trump, of course, made headlines with his cats and dogs and ducks being eaten thing. The internet is absolutely awash with really funny videos of, ducks and cats hanging out with Trump, him saving them from an untimely end. And, I mean, it's kind of comical, but at the same time, it's also raised a little bit of awareness. I don't think it's been good for anyone. Because now, Governor Mike DeWine of Ohio needs to address this stuff. So, by the way, where's what's his name? Where's the old governor of Ohio? I can't even remember the guy's name anymore. He was running in 2016 and, thought he was Mr. Anti-Trump, and now he's just basically Mr. STFU. I forget his name, and I don't really care. So wherever you are, stay there. Mike DeWine has picked up the mantle, though. So ABC, of course, said everything was fantastic there. Let's go and see what the governor is saying, because the governor is the governor. He knows what's going on, and, we don't want to put out the crazy, nasty news or anything like that. But if the governor is responding, then it's obviously kind of bad. All right? So, supposedly, I don't know if this is true personally. I'm not on the ground there. I'm not going to definitively say anything. This is just what's being reported. We talk about things here. Some things are sometimes embellished or whatever. No one's going to die if we have to go back and say, hey, that was incorrect. But there tends to be, a little bit of understanding if things get out into the news, So ABC last night tried to fact check Trump in real time. They were all put up to it, which just made the moderators look biased, which didn't help Kamala at all. Of course, they're going to all come out and say she was the greatest debate ever since, Nixon versus JFK, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of funny things came out. One of the other funny statements was Trump saying, I'll get you a MAGA hat because you basically stolen all of my policies and your policy things. And I mean, yeah. But this is something that's currently going on. She did try to distance herself from some of the things that are going on in the current regime to which she has her name tagged to, which is Biden-Harris. And, well, let's just say that people are kind of vigilant right now for people that are looking a little hungry in the streets. So Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced new state support for the city of Springfield, which is dealing with significant stress on its health care and public safety systems due to the influx of thousands of Haitian migrants over the last several years. So they're growing a large Haitian community over there. Now, these people are coming from a terrible place with terrible things that have gone on, from warlords to, regime coup and everything else, earthquakes. I mean, the place is just literally hell on earth. It is a failed state of the furthest degree. So DeWine goes on to say, I want people of Springfield and Clark County to know that as we move forward, we will continue to do everything we can to help the community deal with the surge. Federal government has not demonstrated that they have any kind of a plan. They don't. They just want people in there to eventually, vote a certain way. Let's just be honest. So, influx of Haitians to Springfield and Clark County significantly impacted local primary care providers due to the increased number of patients and the need for translation services. My wife is in the medical business. She has dealt with both of these things. One of her friends that she was hanging out with today is switching from where she gets her health care and her whole family because they can't physically get into places. So what's going to happen with all this is all these people that are looking for primary care are getting, the first appointment they can get is what? Weeks to, if you're lucky, months out. Meanwhile, you've got kids that need to be seen, medical issues come up, and all these people in this area are going to be going to get things taken up, and they're going to be like, oh, sorry, we got to take care of all of these new factory workers that we just brought here from Port-au-Prince. So, DeWine announced today is dedicating $2.5 million to all of this. It's for the Department of Health to work with Clark County and to provide some relief. Okay, great. I mean, that's the problem shouldn't be there in the first place. Let's kind of peel this back a little bit. Like, the problem shouldn't be there in the first place. They shouldn't have to be fending off a 50% rise or 30, whatever it is, percent rise, 20,000 rise from their estimates of new neighbors coming to the area. That's too many in too short a time, and it's overwhelming everything. The people are literally screaming at the top of their lungs at city council meetings because they're trying to get the people on the city council board to listen to them and help them because they're terrified. There's a lot of nasty things going on. Bad driving is one that people aren't talking about. They're talking about getting ducks getting hunted in the local park, but realistic on-the-ground problems are things like healthcare and numerous new accidents. That's why they're sending in the state troopers actually recognized and admitted this. So, beginning tomorrow, OSHP troopers will patrol local roads and the highest crash rates and hold accountable any driver who drives erratically and risks the safety of others. Ohio is known for being a portal for all kinds of illicit drugs throughout the United States. You have I-70 go through it. You have I-75 go through it. I'm a former resident. I know it. This is a major thoroughfare, major area. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is renowned for stopping and making traffic drug enforcement stops. Now these people are going to be taken off, and whatever kind of drugs it probably could have been stopped by an alert, Ohio State Highway Patrol is now going to go whizzing past with no problems, unimpeded. Let's be honest. So, 2 new initiatives added support that the state has already provided Springfield an aid. School-based health clinic, Springfield City School District, to expand primary care to children and parents. Okay, good. Increasing support for jabby jabs, health screenings, and other through the local health department. Okay. Allocating additional funds to Clark County Department of Job and Family Services for translation services. Definitely necessary. Translators are absolutely needed in healthcare, Not everybody can ask a guy in Spanish, tienes un dolor de cabeza, how's your head? Is it hurting? Providing funding to Clark State College for services to teach English to Haitians. It's good to know the language. Providing driving simulators and offering driver education to this community, and then working with the Springfield School District to maximize existing resources, because God knows the public education system isn't crumbling within itself from the weight of all of the new neighbors and kids coming in, sitting there in class and have no clue what anybody is saying to them because they don't speak English. So federal government needs to assist these communities with funding because, and there it is, funding. Hey, government, we got a problem. What can you do? I know, we're going to throw money at it. Awesome. Gosh, why are we broke? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we're throwing money at everything. Isn't going to solve anything. It's not going to get solved. So more tax dollars, more people that can't pay for stuff, basic groceries and all that. You've got moms who have to wait 6 hours in a waiting room, sick child. They're out of school afterwards because they're sitting there nursing a malady of some sort. Federal government does not have a plan to give any support to the communities impacted by these surges. No, they don't. They do not. They don't. So this is a big problem. Now, what are they saying? They're saying, oh, well, gosh, we're going to bring them in. They're going to start working in the factories. Oh, that's funny because America now has fewer employed workers than it did a year ago. So where are these people going to work? Oh, I get it. They're going to take up all the jobs. Okay, cool. Let's find out about that. Because, that's what's going to happen, right? And, this one guy came out and said, I got a factory. These guys work very hard and all that. They got to make ends meet, yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's all fine and well. But there's still like a native population that needs to be employed too. And they're actually here with, legality, and they're the ones paying the taxes. So you're going to bring in these new people so they can, get their fat share off the system, and then put more people onto the system who have to get their share from the system. Like, where does this make sense? It doesn't make sense. The employment situation has not fundamentally changed from what has been common over the past year. Claims of solid or even blowout gains in employment throughout most of the past year have always been unconvincing. As we look at the bigger picture, August's mixed jobs report simply shows a continuation of the gradually weakening employment market that we have seen. Came out today or yesterday. Odd Lots or Big Lots is coming out, and they're going to be getting rid of 30,000 people are employed by them. I don't know what the numbers are, but they're going under, bankrupt. Numerous other companies have come out and said, we're done. We can't do this anymore. We can't keep our doors open. And they're losing all kinds of jobs. 142,000 jobs were added in August. So, they say that the, unemployment rate's at 4.2%. I mean, if they did it like they did in 1978, the numbers would be frightening. But, of course, we don't do that anymore. I mean, not even a recession is a recession anymore. Why is that? Because they know that we're fundamentally hurting and they don't want to, get out of power. So everybody in the government says we agree upon looking at things this way because we're going to put lipstick on a pig and it's going to make us look just that much better, right? So the employment market is starting to hemorrhage jobs, and it's going to get worse. It's going to go, and you mark my words, as soon as that freaking popularity contest is ended in early November, this whole thing is going to, bit the shed. So survey versus household survey, all right? They always come out and say, oh, we're talking to economists. Economists don't know crap. They eat beautiful meals at well-prepared places at $150 a head, and they're not out there saying, should I get the white bread or the wheat bread because the white bread's 10 cents less, and all I have is about $10 to make it until Thursday. So the establishment survey report shows the total that includes both part-time, full-time, increased month over month. August by 142,000. Why is that? Establishment survey measures only total jobs. However, it does not measure the number of employed persons. Oh, okay. So there's a difference. It means that even with job growth comes mostly from people working multiple part-time jobs. You're working somewhere, they come up, they tap you, they say, hey, bad news, we got to cut your hours a little bit. We're not going to get rid of you, but you know how you're doing 40, we're going to take you down to 22. What are you going to do? Say, oh, okay, I'm going to just eat mayonnaise now. No, you're going to go out and find another job. So you go out and you start side hustling. You get a gig working at a local grocery store, stocking, stuff in the nighttime because you're working in the daytime somewhere else. So that's not job growth, that's just job displacement. So, establishment survey shows increases while the total number of employed person does not. In fact, total employed persons can fall while total jobs increases. For instance, total number of employed persons has fallen by 66,000 since August 2023, This is in contrast to a gain of 2.3 million jobs in the establishment survey over the same period. So we haven't gained jobs in 2 years, according to this. We've gained people with multiple jobs by 2.3 million. We've actually lost 66,000 people working. I don't know about you, that doesn't seem to bode well. So do you see the difference? Do you see what they're doing here? They're like, oh, everything's great. Look at all the jobs. No, you haven't added crap. You're basically making it seem like you've done great work, and when you really look at it, things are terrible. People are losing their jobs. And when they do that, they have to go out and get new jobs, side jobs, not that great jobs. So first time the total number of employed workers has been negative year over year since Rona 2020. Measure turns negative. The U.S. is either in a recession or headed towards. But don't you worry. I like this. It's almost like an F. Don't you worry. They're not going to tell you the truth. You know, we're going to be fine, right? We're just going to be awesome. Sure. Gap is at 4.2 million. In other words, since January 2021, establishment survey has shown by nearly 16 million new jobs, while the household survey has shown less than 12 million new employed persons. Graph of this gap shows how growth in employed persons has flatlined over the past 14 months. So a robust economy that does not make. So as you're sitting there and you're looking at that and you're going, ooh, I didn't know that. Now it all makes sense. Now I know why people are hurting. Well, they're lying. You know, they're saying, oh, everything's great. Inflation's going down. It's going down 2.5%, folks. Last year, it's down by 2.5% from last month. Yeah, we're great. Now it's up 42% from a year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever the heck it is. You know, I made that up. But it's up double digits since, 2020. So, Bureau of Labor Statistics released consumer prices, CPI, 0.2% in August, while core inflation exceeded expectations, 0.3%. E.J. Antoni warned that translation prices have never been higher as Americans' purchasing power continues to shrink. I don't have to tell you that. You know this. I know this. We know this. We're going to get in groceries this weekend, you know? And I'm sure we're going to be... I'd go grocery shopping, and I'm just mad at the end of it. Because I know what we're paying for, and I look at the cart, and I'm like, holy crap, this thing should be stocked. And it's not. So, average weekly paycheck, American families, never been higher, but it buys less than smaller paycheck of January 2021. So, yeah, you're getting paid more, so you get to pay more taxes, get more. But the fact is that the purchasing power isn't there anymore. That's called an hourly inflation tax. So, yeah, you're getting paid more. Sure. But you're not able to buy more. In fact, you're buying less. So he said real-world data shows these costs have actually doubled. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. I wouldn't be looking at $3.77 on eggs when I can remember them very distinctly being 79 cents 4 years ago. Doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. Well, actually it does. We know what they're doing. It's called printing money. August Consumer Price Index report from the Labor Department signals that inflation is far more under control. Inflation is far from under control. CPI rose by 0.2%, aligning with projections, while the annual inflation rate ticked down to 2.5%. So, everything's great, we're great. But no, it's not. When you really look at it, it is not good. Wages are not keeping up. People are not keeping up. Housing costs are going ballistic. Major inflation driver remaining severely understated by CPI. Report indicated 22.6% rise in home ownership costs since January 2021. That is huge. So, real-world data shows that costs have actually doubled. Monthly mortgage payment on a medium-priced home has more than doubled since January 2021. So exposing the wide gap between the government data and the real financial impact on homeowners is right there. August annual change, CPI 2.5, core 3.2, inflation is down. Translation, prices have never been higher. I know this is eye-watering, I know it's wonky, but you need to know why things are happening the way they are. You got to understand why they're coming out and they're saying, it's 2.5%, everything's great, everything's awesome. No, it's not when you look at this. When you look at CPI and you have a base level understanding of economics, homes should not be twice the price they were 5 years ago. They should not be, and they are in many cities, or at least, 20 to 30% more. That defies logic. It defies everything. And the reason why is because our country is going through some major birth pangs. And then to add a little fuel to the fire, Saudi Arabia came out today and said that they might start doing stuff in the petro-yuan. What's that, PrepperNow? Well, Petrodollar is what we use to have international trade in oil. Oil makes the world go round currently, and as much as we want unicorn farts and solar panels to do it, it's not going to happen yet. Got decades away. So, everything is going up in price. Everything. Energy is expensive. They say that the oil is down. It went down to $66 a barrel or something like that. It doesn't matter. If you can't pay for stuff, oh yay, I can drive to work a little bit cheaper than I did last week. It's still not as good as it was in 2020. But it doesn't matter to people. Yep. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, where's the doom? Where's the doom? Here you go. Here is your doom. Hold on real quick. All right, let me get this all worked out. There we go. Something is poisoning America's land. Farmers fear forever. Chemicals. So, I don't know about you, but I do a little bit of gardening. I have one tomato plant this year. I've done many more in the past, but this year, due to busyness and everything else, I thought I was just going to keep it simple. And I did one tomato plant, which I'm going to be harvesting here pretty soon. It's kind of done late, did it after my vacation and all that, but tomatoes are coming in. They look fantastic. They taste fantastic. A couple have ripened up. But I don't know about you, but with all of the things going on with the inflation and prices and problems, we're tending to make more of our food now. We bake bread tonight. We bake bread every other couple nights. We're going to start making our own pizza dough. We're going to start, we're talking tonight about making our own hummus. I found a recipe to make some dessert bar type things. You take plain yogurt and you mix it with peanut butter and you blend it up into a paste of sorts or whatever. And you take this, you put it on wax paper and you put a stick in it and you freeze it. It gets hard. And you take a little bit of chocolate and you melt it and you freeze it. It gets hard. And it creates a peanut butter cup kind of frozen meal. So why would I know that? Because I go out and you want to have a nice treat after dinner, and you buy like a 4-pack of like ice cream sandwiches. It used to be like a nickel each, quarter each, 50 cents each, and it's $4 or $5 for a box of 4, and a lot of them are now just going down to a box of 3. Anybody else notice that? So what is it? Oh, let's grow some food. Let's make our own food. Let's go out and let's grow some food. Wait a second. Something's poisoning America's land. This isn't some conspiracy theory. This is the New York Times. Okay? So, let me get you on up here. So I've been encouraged by the federal government spreading municipal sewage on millions of acres of farmlands. Now, I want to give a hat tip to Poplar Report. He covered this a few days ago. And they've been coming. I've been talking to my wife about this. That's kind of why I wanted to do this. You know, she likes we're trying to do simple, clean eating, right? Make our own bread, grow our own vegetables, fruits, whatever. We know that there's a lot of chemicals and crap going into stuff. So we tried to buy organic as much as possible, which, as looking at the last, inflation numbers and everything else, it's not exactly easy to do. But it can happen. So she's been reading and said, it's actually better to go to local farmers markets and stuff that is grown around you, because you can get a better understanding. You can ask the farmers and say, hey, what are you putting on your stuff? They're usually there doing their things. And also, the nutrients in the vegetables and fruits tends to stay longer. The reason why is it's not traveling a long distance and losing a lot of nutrients, okay? So we're starting to buy from farmers markets and stuff, which I wanted to do anyway. I like to support local. We have wonderful food grown all around us, which is one of the major reasons I wanted to move to this area. It is a farming community. It is the best food in the world. They do a wonderful job, and I want to support them, right? Well, some of these organic farms or just farmers have been trying to take municipal sewage and use it as fertilizer. It's rich with nutrients, takes a lot of crap out of the landfills, literally, but it can contain heavy concentrations of chemicals thought to increase certain types of cancer. Also, potential defects in birth and developmental delays in children. I don't know about you, but I'm a parent. I'm already dealing with enough environmental issues, post-Rona and everything else. I don't want anything to add to a developmental delay. So these forever chemicals are getting into all kinds of stuff. The sludge is being used, and it's sickening and killing not just livestock, but it's also sickening and doing harm to us, okay? And even farmers are starting to fear for themselves in this whole thing. So lawsuits are starting to come out, and these, of course, are called PFAS or whatever. These are forever chemicals, and they're hurting people. So Michigan is investigating. Other states are investigating. It's kind of more of a phenomenon in the north and the northeast. Michigan prohibited the property that was tested and found all of these high concentrations. They can't use it for agriculture anymore. And this is happening to numerous farms. So there you go. So what happens if this really goes ballistic and our food starts to have problems all over? And this stuff gets into everything, and it starts to sicken us. That's a real possibility with all this. Our money is being saturated with printing. Our inflation is going up, and even though they want to hide it, it doesn't hide. It's right there smacking you in the face as you go down the aisles of the grocery store. You've got all kinds of people coming up and adding pressure to the labor market and adding pressure to our tax base to afford them and pay for them and all the services that they need and all the services that our children need. Public services through things like health. And when it's all said and done, you're like, you know what, maybe I'll just start making my own stuff. And then they're like, whoop, nope. You might not want to do that, because a lot of the food that we're growing and a lot of things that are going on in our farmland right now is actually getting ruined through toxic sludge. My mom used to say it a long time ago. She'd look at me and I'd do something wrong or get in trouble. And she'd look at me and say, you know what, you can't win for losing. All this is coming down. America can't win for losing. And we're losing at every corner. And if this does get going and it starts to affect the way we feed people, because one of the things that has kept stuff relatively calm is the fact that we're well fed. If food problems start to happen for whatever reason, Katie bar the door. Who knows? People are going to get pissed. And as Gerald Slent said, I said this one the other night, when people lose everything, they lose it. And if you can't even feed yourself, where do you think this is all going to go? Friends, if you like what we're doing here, please hit the like button, do the subscribe thing, darken up the bell, get the notifications. I do have membership here. It helps keep the lights on. I like to do these academic talks. You know, I'm not going to just come out here and tell you how bad it is. I'm actually going to give you stats and data and things. So when you're looking at it, you can remember and say, oh, wait a second, he said this. And it's actual actionable intelligence. It's something that you can go, and when you're talking to people, you can give them a number or whatever. So stealth mode is a supporter. Thank you very much for doing that. It's $2 a month. I know everybody's strapped right now, but it's just a great way to kind of keep the lights on. You know, I do this because it is a bit of a side hustle. I play music. That's a bit of a side hustle. All kinds of other things. We're all trying to make it. So if you like these reports and you're getting something out of it, please consider becoming a member. There's also Subscribestar and Locals. I'm going to start to promote those more because those communities are fantastic. And I'm able to put stuff there that might get you in trouble on places like Facebook. So if you like critical thinking and what's going on and, you know, the real story, consider a membership here or a membership there. Friends, on that one, I'm going to call it. God bless you all. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, yada, yada, yada. Leave a comment, and we will see you on the next one. God bless.